Let's keep on going about factoring binomials. So let's make sure that we know these other special.
This is the binomial.
There are special things that you need to know. These are formulas. I never ever give you formulas, and you saw that from the last test, because I'm just a meanie, but I have no problems with being mean. You know, I think there was a song like "It's Not Easy Being Mean." So that's. These are the formulas that you need to know. Now you notice they look almost exactly alike. The way to remember what's what is this little acronym, SOAP. Right here, the sign is always going to be the same that the one you start with. If it's a difference of cubes, this is going to be a difference here. If it's a sum, it's going to be a sum. They always stands for the opposite sign of what you start with. And the AP means it's always positive here at the end. Okay, so you know these guys, and you write the formulas down whenever you're working these problems. So if I were to, work this problem, say x to the third plus, let's say 27. I'll go easy on you today. X to the third plus 27. There's no common factor to take out. There's not a difference of squares here, because when you have two terms, you first look for the difference of squares, but I don't have that. I have what looks to be two cubes, but if I'm going to identify them as cubes, I need to make sure I write them down like that. X to the third is what to the third?
It's 3x to the
It's x to the third, and 27 is what to the third?
3 to the third.
So what I'm doing here is that I'm identifying this guy as my A in the formula, and that's my B. A is x and B is 3. So when I factor this, I have my binomial factor, and then I have my larger trinomial factor. And what I always like to do is to just sketch out the formula underneath. That way when I'm using the formula, I know exactly, the exact terms that go in here. So how would you write A plus B? Just follow this. What do you get?
Plus 3.
Right, that's x plus 3.
A squared.
A squared is what?
X squared.
Right, since A is x, you square that, you get x squared. Minus, what's the product of A and B?
3x.
3x plus what?
Plus 3.
B squared is 3 squared, so you're going to write
9.
9. And that's all you have to do. Okay. Now, a lot of students will try to take this quadratic right here and try to factor this. What you're going to find out later on this semester is that it doesn't factor. Okay. But just trust me that this guy doesn't go any further. Once you use the sum or the difference of cubes formula, you're going to be done. Questions about that guy?
So this is the factor form for sum of squares.
Well, I was factoring this because these were sum of cubes. Yeah.
That's it.
Is there another question?
The S, should the S stand for?
The same sign. So when I started with the sum, this first sign was the same. This one was opposite, and this guy is always positive.
Okay, so the O is just the opposite.
Right. And the reason we do that is because you see these factored forms are almost exactly the same. A squared and A squared, AB, AB, B squared and B squared. The only thing that's different will be the signs, and so you have to know what's what. All right, let's try this guy, 125 x to the third minus 64 y to the third. Now, if you know your cubes, this guy's really easy to do. There's no common factor for these. 125 is made up entirely of 5s, and there's no 5 that goes into 64. I should be able to write this as something to the third minus something else to the third. What are you guys saying?
5x.
5.
So this guy can be written as 5x to the third. What about this guy?
4.
Is that 4?
You guys are asking, you should be
4y.
stating this is 4,
4y.
4y. So what I'm seeing here is that I'm going to use this guy as my A, and that guy's my B. Right? So, using the formula that I have, the formula says this guy's supposed to factor as A minus B, and then A squared plus AB plus B squared. Okay, so how would you write A minus B? 5x minus 4y. Now this is the tricky part. How do you write A squared?
5x squared.
If this right here is my A, the formula says to square that. So when you square that, what do you have?
Oh, 25x.
You have 25x squared. Plus, what's the product of A times B?
20xy.
Right, so 5 times 4 is 20, and then we're just going to tack on the x and y.
B squared.
Alright, so this right here is your B. When you square that, you get what?
16y squared.
You get 16y squared.
Why is it negative? It's a negative 8.
I'm sorry, what?
That one is 8 plus B, and then the one at the bottom is 8 minus B.
This is the sum of cubes. This is a difference of cubes. So remember what we said for the acronym? Same as what you see here, so a difference. Opposite of what you see, so it's a plus. And this last piece is always going to be positive.
Okay, same.
Were there any other questions about what we did for this problem?